Okay. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Just give me a minute here while we are setting up. Gonna give myself a little bit of music, and we have to also advertise. Yeah, we gotta advertise because this is what we're working on tonight. That's what we're doing. So let me post my stream in a couple different places. Ooh, did I just lose focus here? Hold on. All right. Okay. And whoa. Let's play that. Oh, oops. Let's put that on. There we go. Okay. So if you're just tuning in, give me a minute here. We're getting to it, okay? So we're gonna have a look at the lovely here. The lovely Emma Frost, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna bring this in. Kind of like that. That's pretty good. Good field of view there. Now let's look at that. See how she just popped in a view there? There's our girl Emma Frost. Okay. And now we're gonna go ahead and now we gotta to advertise. Okay. I know. First, like anytime you watch this on record, like skip forward, man. Go to like 5 minutes in, man. How's my stream look? How does my bad stream status bad? Why? It doesn't have to be bad. All right. Let's go on to Facebook. So if you're following me on Facebook, you're following me anywhere else, you should see that it's Jeff's birthday today. I gotta say, hey, what's up, Dave? Hold on. I'm just gonna let me say thank you. Let me say happy birthday. That dude is only 27 years old. All right. We'll forgive him for being a dirty socialist, but you know. I'll relax, people. Okay. And we're gonna go here, Play It Painted. Okay. What's up, Dave? Where you been, man? Long time no hear. We say we are now painting live. There we go. And let's publish that bad boy. And let's go ahead and put it on. Let's go to Comic Quest Miniature Club. All right. All right, and then we'll put that there. And then let's do one more thing. Sorry, buddy, been trying to go to cons and get my shoulder working on, man. Hey, that's good. That's all good things, man. Don't worry. You don't have to apologize for that. That is all good stuff. And let's get doing. Let's get to our thing. Idic beer. I'm gonna post that here. All right. Okay. There we go. That's enough. It's enough shameless self-promotion. Had enough. I've had enough, man. We're gonna go back to. We're gonna get to the task at hand. Okay. So there's actually two models I want to work on. I'm not sure if I'm gonna paint both, but let's build one. Let's see how we feel. Because you know how touchy-feely I am. and then we'll go to the other one. Okay, so first up, man, you know the one. This is it. This is Musashi, Miyamoto Musashi, from Corvus Belli. Obviously, this is a character that you can play in both Infinity and Aristea. I'm going to paint mine and base him for Aristea, okay? Again, even though it says Infinity here on the base, we're still, you know, I like what I like, man. I tried to like Infinity. I really did. I do not. I just don't like Infinity, man. I'm sorry. Sorry, hashtag not sorry. So I'm going to cut this middle part out. And the reason why I do that is because, even though I already kind of messed up the feet here, I don't want to clip these and then have, like, with how small these feet are, I don't want to have like one foot pull the other foot off. That would be a little bit of a disaster. So we're going to clip that. We're going to clip all these guys free there. Hey, what's up, Shabs? Just Shabs. Welcome to the feed. Yeah, we're going to just try to get those feet back to straight again. And then we're going to get out. Oh, he's a little baggy. Shabbykins was taken. There's some other foul faker Shabbykins out there. Some imposter and impostore. A base deceitful. For those of you who remember the movie quote. But he is the phony, a fake. So, yeah, we're hopping on a little bit early because why the hell not, dude? And, ooh. We're going to just get this all prepped. A little sword action there. All that and all that. You know, this kind of stuff is rather irritating, though. When the scabbard, look at how tiny that little peg is, right? So the whole idea is, in most people do this, most sane people do this. They find this and they find that little tab right there and go, oh, it goes right there, right? And then they glue it in, right? And that's the end of the story. Got the no, actually, they're with mommy right now. Mommy said, hey, you know what, Daddy, you had a long day, you've had a long week. She decided to be good to me, so we're doing this. All right, is there any other, before I really get to the pinning, let's see if there's any other little flash or anything else I want to do here. This is one of two miniatures I want to work on tonight. I don't know if the other one's a little less important. So just slightly. My wife she is good to me. She made me this delicious turkey burger for dinner tonight. And she's just been really sweet lately. She knows it's been a rough week for me. I've been under the weather this past weekend, and then had a long week at work, and then my dad had a medical emergency. So things have not, this could have been a better week for me. But that said, she's just kind of, my wife did, like, she's just laid in the cuff. She's waited for her opportunities to be really, really good to me, and she has been. And I gotta, man, you're right. I gotta, like, pay her back or something. I better do, I better, like, hold up my part of the bargain, right? I can't just be my usual delightful self and expect that to fly. like I usually do. we gotta bring our A game to the front here. All right. Got a pic with a dragon for Joan of Arc. You showed it to Diz. How cool. She must have freaked out over that. Well, that must have been really cool. All right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Since this is really the priority, we're going to start working on this guy, and then we're going to kind of, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and clip the other guy right now. Let's get the other guy clipped and prepped. Okay, who's the other guy? Well, it's a wow! That was a box that died in my room. This is the other one. Okay, so we're doing, look at that. Look at that. That is the alt hexer. This is the key part right here. If you look, there's that sick little teddy bear. So cool. Seeing Good Wives, I gotta go pick up the hubby. All right, no worries. We'll hear back from you in a minute. What I do with my scissors? No, seriously, what did I do with my scissors? Because I gotta pop this bad boy open. There we go. I just find scissors are easier than my box cutter for this type of packaging. All right. So here's some weird packaging. The hexer is cool, right? A lot of little tags on this guy. Right? Here's a not so little tag. Here's really a not so little tag. This, I can already tell, this model is going to have a weird center of gravity. I picture him every night standing outside of work, just big-eyed with tears and thinking I forgot him. That's sad. Well, don't forget him. That's, right? That would be easy. That would be easier said than done, obviously. But yes, just don't forget. Don't forget. You got to pick up somebody around midnight. So many little tags here. Why is the face separate? Is it? Oh, I see. Because they didn't. It's actually not a bad design decision, Corvus Belli. We're gonna forgive you for that one. Usually, some of their other stuff. Now look at how terrifying this is. You get these teeny tiny little feetses right here, and this is gonna. That's gonna stand. That's gonna hold her up. This big old like one piece heavy solid metal cloak. That's gonna be interesting. Maybe we just put her away and not worry about her tonight. Maybe. Nah. Let's build. Yeah, maybe. Because look at all this. I got to clean all this crap here. See all that? It's just not good, man. I mean, this might be fun to paint during my paint day. Maybe I do that. Maybe I just do that. Because this is excessive, people. Ooh, yeah, like, see how hard that is to get into that? Like, I gotta get in and, like, dig that sucker out if I really want that out of there. Ugh. Ugh. That is so mean to put that right there. You can't even really, I mean, I guess no one's gonna see it unless you're really looking for it. That's gonna drive me bonkers though. That bin right there, that's just not good. Okay, anyway, whatever. That's just gonna chill on the sideline for a while. We're gonna go ahead and focus in on Musashi here. Okay. You sent me a pic on Messenger. Cool. All right. So now let's go ahead and do our pinning. We're gonna need 1, 2, 3 pins for this miniature. So let's cut our 3 pins. All right. And for Corvus Belli stuff, I like to use 0.15 millimeter musical wire because it's gonna hurt. Musashi is already one of my favorite characters in Aristea. Just really strong melee DPS, for lack of a better term. So I'm going to cut one long pin, one short pin, and one sort of medium pin. Okay, because they're going to go into specifically different parts of the miniature. I'm telling you, there's like 24 people that I've encountered over at Comic Quest in like the last month that wanted to know how to do this. So let's do this, okay? So see that little square nub there? That's really where the arm attaches. And as a rule, wherever the positive peg is, that's where I root the pin. Right? So I'm going to put the pin right there. And this drill is likely to chew that nub all the way down. Ooh. So I need it to grab. I need it to grab into this nub. Oh. And it's not. It's like spinning off. That's just telling me that this bit is starting to get dull. But I got it to grab. You can actually kind of use your finger to help guide it. And the good news is you don't have to drill a very deep hole here. Hey, what's up, Blade Wolf? Welcome to the feed. You don't need to drill a deep hole. You just one that will do a good job of holding your pin. That's a pretty good hole right there. Okay, so I'm going to drill that in there, and then I'm going to put a pin in one of the feet. So what I do typically, I try to stand the feet. It looks like I still need to fix this foot. I'm going to take it out of frame here for a minute. Give it a good file down. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I'm going to do the pin here. Again, same concept, right? Just going to kind of use the side of my finger there to help guide it. You start off really slow, make sure that the bit grabs. Once it grabs, you can go a lot faster, right? Once it grabs, you can This is where the longest pin is going to go, in here. Okay. So that one you can drill out fairly deep. Okay. And then finally, let's drill. There's this little notch right there where the scabbard goes in, and I'm just going to drill that. It's going all right. How's it going with you, Blade Wolf? And this one's easy. See how easy that is? You just find the channel and just go in. You don't even have to be terribly careful there. So now, this is the annoying one. This little nub here. See that little nub there? And like I was saying, most people don't pin this, but the problem with not pinning this is the stupid scabbard's gonna pop off all the time, and you're just gonna freak out if you're like me. And you're not gonna have a happy time. Let's see if I can get that. Oh, I made it kind of angled, and I wanted it to be flat. Let's flatten it that way. There we go. Okay. Same deal. Start off slow. And this is going to have the shortest pin in it because it's the most annoying one. So the most annoying one, you don't really want to drill too deep. And you don't want a big old pin. You want enough of a pin to give it some strength. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we'll clear this crud off, and then we're going to glue. So then first thing I do is I put the pins in. Okay. Wish this YouTube could have music, because that would be better. But it's dirty YouTube. There we go. See that tiny little pin? Of course you don't. Who looks for that? Who looks for that? You're okay, just worn out. I hear you, man. Tiny little pin there. And I'm going to put a pin here. This is also going to help you keep your sanity, right? Loctite Ultra Control Super Glue. You can get this at Home Depot. It's about $4.50. And this is much better than pouring out a bunch of liquid, squeezing too hard, ruining your model, getting super glue everywhere, crying, thinking about all the bad decisions you made in your life. This is gonna work, okay? Except when you forget to actually put it on there. Okay. It's crazy. Okay, and then we're gonna do this. Okay. There we go. See how the pin there for the foot should be fairly long, because this is really a little tiny foot like this. You actually want to have good strength. Okay. So we'll give that. Let that dry for a minute while I drill this here. So you see how this has a channel in it? All you got to do, this is the easy part now. All you got to do is just stick your bit in there, and it already, it doesn't need much guidance because it's just going to go straight into that channel. And really all you're deciding is like how deep can you go without drilling out the other side. You can see I made the pins really small. Now, when you first start pinning, what I would recommend doing is cut your pins longer, cut them way longer than they need to be. Then you can insert them and then trim them down to size. Like insert them in their root, then clip them, let them dry in there, and then clip them down to size. That's easier. And then once you get experience, then you can kind of tell like how long of a pin you'll need depending on the joint, and you just have experience like cutting it to the right size, and then you kind of know, like, it's all like muscle memory. Like you'll remember how deep you have to go. Okay, so now I have basically two limbs that are going to go into this, and then I have my I stamped a base for this, so here's my stamp there. And then you get these little burrs here, and that drives me crazy. I hate those. So first we're going to put the little limbs on the model, and then we're going to put the model on the base. All right. And the way I do this is I always go with the pieces that are closest to the center of the miniature. In other words, they shouldn't be sticking. You don't want the pieces that are protruding out the furthest. So if you were, like if there was a separate head, you would do a head first. Then you would do an arm, and then you would do a leg. You know what I mean? You kind of do it in terms of what's going to be closest to the center of gravity out to the furthest. And I just did something kind of dumb. Whoops. Okay. So we put a little glue there. And you push the piece in. I didn't glue the pin to my finger. I actually licked the end of the sword there, and I got a little glue on the tip of my tongue. It's okay. It would take a lot more for me to have like isocyanate poisoning. It's more of a texture thing. It feels like a scab on the end of my tongue. So I'm just going to kind of scrape it off with my teeth. It's one of the best glue mishaps I've ever had on stream. Because you know how you can lick you lick a piece and it kind of works as a natural accelerant? That's great if you remember that you didn't already put glue on it. Right. So you can see there's the scabbard, right? There's the scabbard there. And now we're going to glue the sword hand. Actually, all right. The other thing is, if you're not experienced, make sure you dry fit everything. No, even if you are experienced, make sure you dry fit everything. Right? But there you go. That's looking pretty smooth right there. Cool. It's such a cool miniature. It really is. All right. Now we're going to, while that's drying, we're going to figure out how he's going to go on the base. Kind of. Now, here's the trick. I stamped this base like, like a couple hours ago. So it's still somewhat soft. It's not soft to where it's like going to totally screw up, but it's soft enough to where if I push the feet down into this base, it'll leave an impression. And that's kind of what I want, right? So I'm going to drill my hole there. I might build, I guess we might as well build the other one too. The interesting thing about these two miniatures is the color schemes are very, very similar. But I think I'm really only just going to paint him. And I'll save Hexer for another day. Even though I love that Hexer sculpt. So hold this down for 20 seconds. Super cool. Okay. So yeah, the foot's got a little impression there. And the thing is, we have a little bit of time while this thing is drying, so we can actually build the other miniature. I think. Yeah. I'm just gonna lay him on his side there. And let's get her back into the picture here. Looks like I'm gonna need 4 pins for this miniature. Because why not? I don't know why. It's funny, it's not the most dynamic pose, but Corvus Belli always figures out a way that you need a bunch of pins. So you got her staff hand here. And we'll clip all the gunk off that. So what is good? Well, tomorrow they're doing that TV show reveal at Comic Quest at 5 p.m. And that's my normal gaming night, so I will be there. So I'm gonna do that, and tomorrow I'm hoping to get in a little bit of Aristea, and maybe a game of Guild Ball towards the end of the evening. That's kind of my MO for tomorrow. So in that order, I want to play Aristea, and then I want to play Guild Ball, and then Saturday I got my paint day. So I picked up some supplies and that kind of stuff for this. Wow, this piece is a mess. This has got all kinds of little gribblies and little giblets on it. Where's mine? What about you? Any plans for this weekend? I'm looking forward to paint day. I haven't painted the miniature of the month yet, so I guess I'll prep it and paint it there. That's probably what I'm going to work on while I'm there. And then maybe this miniature. Of course, this miniature. This is an awesome miniature. Should totally paint that there. And unless I paint it tonight, but I don't think I'm painting this one tonight. It just sucks that I had all that flash on the horns. Because that ends up, like, that's such a focal point for the miniature. It sucks that I have, like, this big, like, basically like a tumor thing I have to try to get rid of right here. More wedding stuff. Yeah. When's the big day again? Like, how much time you got left before the big day? Like, you guys are in the final throes of it, or what? October 20th. Kind of nice little October wedding. Then on your anniversaries, you can have all costumed anniversaries, right? Like Halloween type anniversaries. What is going on? What is this? Oh, this is a hand. So let's see. So both hands are separate. Both hands are separate, and oh my god, the tags on these are just crazy. It's like that's a lot of tags, people, especially like on like here on fingertips and stuff. That's just annoying. Come on, CB. I love you, CB, but ain't nobody got time for this. To quote the internet. I know. My meme is old. My meme ways are old. They're old memes. I'm not gonna ask for forgiveness though. That's just how I roll, people. It's just old memes. You're just gonna have to deal. Ain't no spring chicken. Wow, the amount of stupid little things on these stupid little things is frustrating. All right. Tad comic book theme? Nice. Is it a destination wedding or are you getting married local? Also, how big is this wedding going to be? Like, how many people are we talking about here? Okay. Look at all of these little tags. Like, it's basically a golf club there. 100 is a really good, that's a good size for a wedding, right? It's a good, nice, reasonable crowd. It's a nice, even number to budget around. That's a nice one. Now tell the truth. Do you wish there were more people or fewer people invited to your wedding? Tell the truth. You know, it's only the internet. No one will hold you accountable on the internet. Honestly, viewer. No glass clinking, but we have a D20. That's funny. Yeah, I think if I could choose, I think I would max my wedding out at like 50 people. But like I was saying, 100's a good number because it's a good crowd. Like that's a good crowd to get going. People can dance, all that kind of stuff. And you kind of, you can spread your evening out. You're not like attached to a small group of people. I think our wedding was like 150 people. And we spent a lot of the evening kind of making the rounds and talking to everybody. That was kind of fun. Then we did a lot of dancing. Our wedding had a lot of dancing. Pretty dope. Yeah, shitty DJ though. Shitty, awful DJ. Not that I'm upset or anything, but our DJ was just terrible. Our photographer was phenomenal. He was the opposite of our DJ, which was bad. If I hadn't mentioned that before, we had a bad DJ. He got our name wrong. He pronounced our last name wrong. I've said this many times. I had one request for him, and it was to not play a specific song. And and it was the first song he played. It was the first song he played. And then he tried to play a bunch of other songs, and his taste in music was absolute shit. It was just not. It was embarrassingly bad, right? We finally got to the point where I just ended up handing him our iPod. And I said, and it's a good thing I did that. Like, I took the time to preload the iPod with music that we like to dance to and all this good stuff. Because I was like, because I met this DJ. He's a young kid. And, he was, I don't know, I guess he was just getting his start in DJing or whatever. And it just was not good. So, yeah. So we paid a guy $300 to play our iPad and to mispronounce my name and to play freaking Love Shack at my wedding. Love Shack, okay? I hate that song. I hate that song with a passion. I hate that song so much. Actually, I don't hate that song really anymore. Like, I've come to terms with that song. Love Shack was like, it's just it just represents everything I hate about mainstream. I just hate it. Oh man, you still don't like house music? I love house music. I don't care. I like my Chicago house, man. I love it. But yeah, Love Shack was like everything. You remember like how for those of you who remember the 80s, you remember how like Celebrate by Kool and the Gang was like the most important song? It was like but it was their worst song. You know what I mean? Kool and the Gang has an amazing category of music. They have an amazing catalog of music. But Celebrate is that stupid Carnival Cruise Line director shit when they're gonna go, when they're trying to get the crowd into it. And you're like, yeah, hey man, welcome to Carnival Cruise. I'm your cruise director, Chip. We're in for a great evening tonight. And the song that he plays inevitably in the 80s anyways was Celebrate, right? And people would be clapping, like the people that have never actually experienced life on any meaningful wavelength. They're like, yeah, celebrate, right? And it would just drive you insane, right? Celebrate is to the 80s what Love Shack is to the 90s, right? Love Shack was the shittiest song. The guy, and don't get me wrong, there's some B-52 songs that I really like, right? I like Rock Lobster. I like some of the other songs that they did. Love Shack is by far their biggest song, and it's just not. It just drives me insane. It's not a good song. I do not like that song. I got me a car as big as a whale. And people like in 50, 60 years old are like, oh, can you play that Shimmy Shack? That's the funniest part. My mother-in-law, her friends, they're all in their 60s, or they were at the time. They're in their 50s and 60s at the time I got married. And they would go, can you play some of that Shimmy Shack? They would get up there and be like, nah, man, this is our wedding. No. Answer is no. You don't get to play first off, it's Love Shack, which is garbage. But no, you don't get to play that during my wedding. And I had it out with my mother-in-law. I'm like, look, that's not going to happen. That's not. Oh, come on, Octave. Come on, Octave. The Shimmy Shack. It's a good song. It makes us happy, the Shimmy Shack. I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. I've ensured that the DJ will not play that shit. And sure enough, he comes out, starts playing Love Shack. And and my wife Elizabeth looked me in the face. She looked me in my eyes, and she saw the rage brewing within. And my friends were nearby, and I was like, I asked this kid for one thing. I gave him a much nicer version of the tirade that I just gave you guys. Yeah, she probably did. She's like, I'm the mother of the bride. You're gonna play the shimmy shack or something like that. She probably did. She probably did. And this kid probably thought that was gonna get everybody out, like, right? Because like all the old people are gonna go, woo, this is just like Celebrate by Kool and the Gang. Like they were gonna come out and shake their asses to that. They thought it was a thing, and it was not a thing. But no one went out and danced because it's our wedding. Like they're like, oh, we want to see, the bride and groom. We just did our, we did our first dance or whatever. We did the dance with your, the dance you do with your parents and all that kind of stuff. We did all that stuff. So it was time to do the actual dancing. And that fool breaks out that song, and I was like, oh, hell no. So he did that. It drove me crazy. Then afterwards, he just proceeds to play the worst catalog of songs that he thinks people actually dance to. And I looked at that kid I looked at him and I said, "What do you think? Do you think we just don't have rhythm? Like, do you think we've never heard music before? Because you're playing trash. Like you're playing hot garbage, dude." And my wife was sitting, she's like behind me, like booing him, boo, boo. And like my friends are like, this is not good. So I just, I had the iPod. I grabbed the iPod and handed it to him. I said, look, just play this. Dear God, for the love of all that's holy, just play this. And he put it on, and everybody was happy, and they all started dancing, and it was like, yeah. And I just looked at that kid like, man, like, you're DJ. You're supposed to know like good music. You're supposed to know, like, maybe I think he just had the wrong read on us, right? Interracial wedding, obviously my wife's side, my mother-in-law and them, they wanted the quote unquote shimmy shack, right? And he's probably looking at my half of the family and he's like, well, what do they listen to? Like jungle sounds? What kind of music do they listen to? That's actually kind of funny. I like that I said that. Man, this joint right here rightly sucks. Let me see if I can get the other arm. Oh gosh, they're all positive pegs. So I gotta put another peg here. That is wild. Maybe I don't drill that one because it's so close to the body. It's probably okay if I just... Yeah, this one is not likely to come loose because it's so close to the body. In fact, why was that even... Like, why is that even a joint? That could have just been one thing. Jingle booty music? Could be. Yeah, I'm not gonna, in a extremely rare moment, I am not gonna pin that. I know. Some people are fainting because I pin everything. But yeah, there's some things that are like they're just so close to the center of gravity and they're so unlikely to move just in how they're nested. Like that was actually pretty good cast decision right there. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Just drill that out. And now let's drill. What is there? There could have been like 5. There could have been like 5 pins in this miniature. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Nobody needs 5. You don't need 5 pins on a pose this static. I cannot get this guy to grab right there. Finally got it. That's pretty good. Pretty good grab right there. All right, so we're going to put a short pin in that guy. Now, usually this does take a little bit longer to do this kind of pinning, and it drives people crazy, and they don't want to do it. And to them, I say, I don't blame you, but you wanted to know what you need to do to pin a miniature. Well, this is what you need to do. You got to be willing to do this kind of nonsense. How come that's not deep at all? Drilled that pretty well there. It should not be sticking out that far. That's sticking out way too far. Hold on. I'm drilling that deeper. Okay. Let's try that again. Hey, what's up, Adam? Booyah! Booyakasha. Welcome to the feed, dude. Where you been? What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you? Clearly have not had you and Dave and Diz for me to blame Canadians for the things that I typically blame Canadians for. You know how it goes. All right. Drill this right here. Let me ask you guys something. Since I'm an old man and I don't understand these references, is this skin here a reference to a specific video game or something that I'm not aware of? This like Hexen Witch. He just wanted to miss the early feed late. Like, what is this? Okay, that's pretty good. All right. So now we're gonna glue in that stupid thing right here. This model right here. This alt Hexen. Is this a reference to anything? I think that goes like that, right? Let me show you the picture of the box so that since you can't really recognize anything when it's all metal like this. Let me show you. Is that a reference to anything? What is that? How come it's... that needs to be able to stay in place there. And then is this deep enough? Is the next thing. Did I drill that deep enough? Looks like I did. Okay, that's good. Kinda Baba Yaga. That's true. Oh man, I just bent the pin. There you go. And then finally, I'm gonna stick this arm on her there. Man, I just keep popping this stupid arm loose right there. It just comes loose all the time. And I didn't modify this peg at all. It's just a bad fit. Yeah, it's just a bad fit. That is annoying. No, don't lick it now. I already put glue on it. No, let's not lick it. Let's put some actual kicker on it. Just lock that sucker in place there. And just do that. Okay. And then let's go ahead and put this. So it should go like that, right? Pretty good. Let me make sure. Wait. What? Hold on. Which way does that go? It just basically goes, I had it right. It just basically goes off to the side there. Ugh. Yeah, I had that fairly correct. But then I goofed it. All right. I hope I don't have to make a new pin. No, I don't. I'm just going to re-glue it. I like that suggestion to lick it, though. That's pretty funny. So you got to think about the fact that most people put these together without pinning. It just drives me crazy. Like, what do you do when this arm is going to pop off all the time if you don't pin it? Let's buy ourselves a little insurance here. All right. You pin it after the fact. Yeah, that's where things get really messy. trying to pin it after the fact. I'm just gonna insta set that in place. Okay, now we're gonna put her. Now we're gonna put her on her base. Mess up the paint job. Yeah, this is all true, sir. So with the center of the gravity being out here, I think I want to pin her like kind of out towards the edge here, like that. All right. This is one of the trickier models to put together, just because, like, look at how spindly her little feet are at the bottom of this. This reminds me of Metal Batgirl from Night Miniatures, from Night Models. It's was not a good. Yeah, it just wasn't the best build. And you got to use Zip Kicker here, just to make sure. Like, I can't take chances on that. She's on that base there on a, like, basically a lick and a promise, really. All right. I got a little burr there that I want to get rid of, which I don't think I can right now. It's going to be frustrating at the end of all this. There we go. All right. I think we're finally ready to start priming and painting. So that was a big, like, half-hour extra detour just to build another model that we're not working on tonight. So good job, Octave. Yeah. Thanks everyone. And since these guys are kind of wonky metal, I'm going to use. We're going to mount them to the older style mounts here. Okay. Oh man. Yeah, this model is. She's going to be tough. She's going to be tough, but it's okay. We'll make it happen. Okay. All right. Let's do some priming now. What are you guys working on tonight? You guys working on anything good tonight? Dave, you doing any painting tonight? Adam, you doing any painting tonight? Adam's not doing any painting. Adam's got Love Shack playing in the background. He's dancing to that. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows he's dancing to Love Shack. He's got Love Shack going. Then he's got Celebration by Kool and the Gang. Then he has he's got Monster Mash. He's got that song. You know, he's playing all the hits that Adam. He's playing them all. He's shaking his Canadian ass to all of that funky music. And then finally, he's got We Built This City by Jefferson Starship. What were they called at that point? Were they called Starship or Jefferson Starship, or were they called Jefferson Airplane? What was their name at that point? when they did We Built This City. We built this city on like I want to say that song came out in like 1985 or something like that. And it's still just the weirdest, kind of saddest song I think I've ever heard. Like, yeah, they're trying to make it like this big triumphant song, but it's all, I think deep down they realize how pathetic the concept is in that song. And so so at any point they might break down and cry about the overall message of their song. I think you're right. I think they were called Starship. All right. It was like when REO Speedwagon, when they went from REO Speedwagon to just like Speedwagon. Anybody else think that was like? Did you think that major rebranding was going to somehow change things for you? And granted, I like REO Speedwagon. I don't care. I'm not going to apologize for that. Still, I recognize that they're a bit of an acquired taste. Here's one of the things I do. When I'm priming, I always start at the bottom of the miniature. I always get the hardest to get spots first. Because everyone knows, like, the top of the forehead thing here, everyone knows you're going to get a ton of paint on that, right? Like, that's not an easy target to miss. But underneath the robe and all that, that's hard. The bottom of the blade, that's hard. Behind the scabbard, also difficult. Liger fan. If I recall, dropping Jefferson was due to legal stuff in the mid-'80s. Well, thank you. Really? That's interesting. Now it's an interesting story. I thought they were just trying to rebrand, but there is actually a reason why they were, they're sitting around in a meeting. Apparently there was a lawyer present, and maybe that was the advice of the lawyer. The lawyer was like, you know what? I got a way around this. Yeah, I can get us out of this, people. Guess what? We're going to do this. We're going to call ourselves Starship. That was it. And then mic drop. He was like, bam, that's what we're doing. Starship. And then there was that, and then in their brains there was that internet meme that, with the guy falling backwards and the other kid like stumbling across the screen. I believe it. I think I may go a totally different route with her color scheme. That is when I actually paint her. She's not going to be painted tonight. I'm just throwing a coat of primer on her. Just because she's here. Did I get a new airbrush? I did. I'm still not using it yet. Still using my Frankenstein airbrush that I pieced together the other night. Because I want to see how long my Frankenstein creation lasts before I have to replace it. Seems to be. Oh, looks real clean. Yeah, I threw it in the Sonic cleaner, like the day after that nightmare stream. Just get a good prime layer down on her. That's a really good prime coat down on her. All right, and she's gonna chill. All right, so now we're gonna do our standard zenithal on Mr. Chibi guy. So we'll bring him back into the picture. Where's my regular like mixing brush for this type of work? There it is. So we're gonna drop some gray on this dude. All right, and I'll probably make enough to hit the other model as well, so why not? So here we go. We're going in with this heavy blue-gray. Really cool color here. Before I wasn't a fan of spraying game color. Now I really like spraying game color. You thin it right, it just atomizes really well. Okay, so here we go. Okay, and we're just gonna slowly build this up. Right, slowly build that color up. Right, so a lot of it there on the forehead. He's got a big old bean, this dude. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and hit, might as well. And she's still got a bunch of wet spots on her, so maybe I gotta be careful when I'm doing this. It's okay if it blends a little bit though. This is a great miniature after how annoying it was to put together. All right. Now, I'm thinking probably want to keep him somewhat classic. So he's still going to have a red and white color scheme. And I'll just take some minor liberties regarding where red and where white go. Okay. Okay, that's good. We're going to shoot one last color with this airbrush, and then we're going to get in and do the color blocking. So let's see. Now I'm looking at it. I think I want most of the body to be red, and then the armor is going to be like a black steel. And I don't know if he may not have much white on him at all. So we'll see. So one last color through this airbrush, and then we're going to switch airbrushes. We're going to get to the fine details. So obviously I want to use the guy with the nice fine detail needle. All right. So the final thing out of this airbrush is going to be Insignia White. Oh, sorry. That's supposed to drop F-bombs. I love this color. I effing love this color. How about that? I'm just going to say that. I effing love this color. It's like one of the best colors to airbrush. Okay? Because you can build up the white nice and slow. Especially if you can do it potty mouth. Especially if you can do it without spitting or spotting. You're good. See, that's kind of nice. My poor Canadian ears. You know, they're going to make me apologize on, I don't know, what would be the miniature equivalent of like CNN or something, right? Or they're going to make me apologize to World News Tonight. I'll be on like Beasts of War or something, having to say sorry. Like I might have to cry. I know I was thinking, there's no place in the miniature gaming world. Okay, I gotta admit, this is a really cool miniature. Even though she is wobbling like mad right now, so maybe she needs to just chill for the rest of the evening. I think I will do that. I think I will let her chill for the rest of the evening so that she doesn't just suddenly fall over. Yep, because I can even see... Ooh, that's scary. She's had a rough evening. She's got weird dimensional issues. Stop giving her gin and beer. That was a Filipino joke. I like that. Okay. Yeah, let's put her in a real quiet spot away from my desk so she can just be there in peace. And let's do a little... Still waiting for him to get out of work. It's been an hour. Ooh. Whoa. Not like how that happened. All right. Here we go. So let's that dry. I'm going to let that dry for a sec. I'm going to clean out this airbrush. We're going to swap to the next airbrush. And now we're going to start doing the colors. All right. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's find my other airbrush. That's a bummer, Shabs. Gonna be a late night for him at work. Let's clean this needle. So we're gonna color block here. Did you hide your other mini from my cat? Well, my cat's not in here, not in the room, so I should be okay. We'll see. The other thing I want to clean is I want to clean the nozzle. So I'm gonna use my little cleaner here. And just make sure there's nothing. It's like there's nothing in. Yeah. There's nothing in the nozzle right now. That's good. Okay. Okay. Put that back in there. Put that back there. Okay, that's good. That's good. So this guy is going to be significantly more quiet. And we're going to watch this atomization here. It's good. Shoot a little water out. Okay. Okay. And now we're going to start with some red. So we're going to do fire red. All right. Okay, we're just gonna get color block this bad boy. I just love how tight, like how close he can work with this guy. So cool. And for now, I'm going to do the scabbard in red, even though probably not going to be the final color of it. Just easier to start with the harder to cover color. This is a 0.15 needle. See, and don't be afraid to do 2 passes when you're doing this. Just right. Just realize you're just gonna have to. To get a nice even coat, you really should be doing 2 passes. Get a little bit of spitting. And it's a good base coat. Right? I guess I might as well do this shoulder plate too. Okay. There's a lot of red. Okay. Okay, let's clean this out. Let's move up the next color here. All right. Let's go ahead and clean out our airbrush. So with when you're doing this with airbrush, you actually probably shouldn't be so tight in your color step. And let me show you what I'm talking about in a minute here. As soon as I'm done cleaning this color out. A little bit of water. Let's get the last of it out. It's so small, like it's such a fine mist. I'm not going to use my cleaning pot because it's just going to dribble on the inside of the cleaning pot and actually make my airbrush less clean, believe it or not. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. Normally, if you were doing this with a brush, you would do something like this, right? You do a fire red, and then you would do scarlet red, and then you would do something crazy like fluorescent red, right? And that would be your super highlight. When you're doing an airbrush, you don't need this guy because the airbrush is going to transition you from this to this. You don't need the middle color, okay? So that's where airbrush it's kind of cheating because I'm just going to skip directly to the high level highlight here. So just a couple of, and it's super efficient. So really only like 3 drops of this is all you really need, right? So, except mine is spitting like mad. So I'm going to have to stop and I'm going to have to do a quick clean out here. Yeah, there we go. I don't like how that's coming out. It's not atomizing correctly. So I guess let me shoot it out. Let's shoot it out, start over. It's leaving like little orange freckles there that we don't want. So I may actually have to use a different strategy altogether here. Because I can try thinning it. Let's try thinning it first before we change strategy. All right. It's a little bit of thinner. Maybe that color is just getting old, so it's starting to conglomerate in the little bottle. I'm going to mix it up just pretty well, just in case. Let's see what we got. Let's see if I can step this up. Okay. So I'm going to thin this about 1:1. So it's going to be stupidly thin coming through the airbrush here. So it should not spit anymore. I think the main issue now is it may be too light now that I've thinned it. But that's not a terrible problem to have. You'll see. Wow, that's stupidly thin. It has definitely stopped doing the spitting. But I'm going to have to build up color so slow on it. Pretty good. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting. We're painting Chibi tonight. Not the Chibi I usually paint on this channel. Right? I usually paint Ninja Division chibi. Which is still my favorite style of chibi to paint. And don't worry, I will be back to painting that again at some point. I realize that Super Dungeon Explorer is one of the biggest search terms that people use to find my channel. So I need to respect that. Okay, so now you can see getting a little bit lighter there. Good, good. So I'm going to shoot this out. That's looking pretty good. Now I could base coat the skin on the face, but it's not important enough for me to do. It's not important enough on a chibi miniature like this. So we're gonna actually switch back to the painting. What's that? Could you use? Yeah, I totally could. Although Ninja All Stars is a dead game, it's a dead system. Ninja Division discontinued it, and they moved all the Ninja All Stars characters over to Super Dungeon Explorer. Go figure, right? All right. So now let's get to the actual painting here. The last thing I'm going to do with this armor, well, let's do. We're going to give this a little dry brush, okay? And we're going to take this. I'm going to dry brush this color on it, this golden yellow. And I bought new dry brushes tonight, but I don't need to use them yet. I'm going to use one of my older ones. Okay. Right. So this is just meant to be an edge highlight. This is just meant to catch really just the edges of stuff here on that armor. Okay. Ooh, a little too much on there. So I'm going to have to fix that. Actually, I don't have to fix that. You'll see. Ooh, that I am going to have to fix. Just not getting enough off. This dry brush might be a little too big. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. Just get the edges there. That's all we're trying to do. Like that right there, that's too big. But we'll fix that. Like I was saying, we'll fix it. So now let's do that. Okay. So now we've got a good edge on most of that. Okay. Yeah, how do you feel about that, by the way, the Super Dungeon Explorer? I mean, the Ninja All Stars being canceled or discontinued. I mean, the game system was okay. It was okay. I had fun playing it. I don't think I'm gonna terribly miss that game. And at least I have some use for the miniatures. It just it's kind of a frustrating thing for me because I feel like that game could have been more popular. Okay. Right. So so now let's go ahead and let's get to painting the face. The face. These chibi eyes are a lot more simple than the Super Dungeon one, right? I don't want him to look cute and innocent. This dude's a samurai. I think that F bomb sucks because I just got the game. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I mean, they're gonna come out. They're coming out with that. Basically, it's a totally different game. They gave it to another publisher, and the other publisher is gonna take that game and make it into. Oh gosh, what happened here? Did I just totally thrash this? I don't think this is the right brush. This can't be the right brush. Brush is a mess. Is it this? Is this the right brush? Yeah, this is the right brush. All right. I mean, I could do super chibi style eyes on him. That might be kind of funny. So he's like adorable samurai. Let's do it. I don't care. If it looks bad, we just redo it. It's not the end of the world. All right. So first thing is to paint in the entirety of the eyes. So this can be fairly sloppy here. The main thing is don't miss anything. Okay. Make sure you get the black where you need it to be. I'm even going to put a little bit there. I don't have to. All right. Next up, we're going to get some white. We're going to paint the white in. And you don't thin the white too much when you thin it. Like barely 1-to-1. There you go. That's like exactly 1-to-1. Okay. And now we're going to so you just want to paint the whole orbit in and leave only the faintest outline of that black in. Just the faintest little border in. Got a cat yelling at me. What? Yeah. You came in here to yell at me? You gonna knock shit over? You can't knock shit over. No. No. Guess what? Guess what, kitty? No. That's right. Not taking your mess right now, cat. Like I said, we're gonna just leave. Ooh. Sword right there. The sword sticking forward is messing with my ability to properly shape this eye. Where'd you go? Cat just came in to yell at me and then he left. There we go. So we'll paint the eye in upside down here. Okay. Okay. Make sure that the eyes are roughly the same shape. It's pretty important, actually. Like with a chibi miniature, the majority of people are going to be staring at the eyes. Okay. So yeah, we are going to do... hold on, I'm going to close this. My cat decided that would be funny to just leave the door wide open. All right. So we are going to do the hilarious, innocent-looking chibi eyes. Okay. So I want to do kind of, let's see, kind of like a sienna style or like a... Yeah, I'm going to do like a sienna colored eye, like a cola colored eye. Okay. Or some Midwesterners like to say, pap. Gonna make the eye look like pap. Okay. So I'm using this color here, heavy sienna. Whoa, that was way too much water, but that's okay. So when you're doing this part of the eye, it actually does not absolutely have to be fully opaque. Okay, it doesn't have to be hiding 100%. What matters when you're doing this part of the eye is that you have the right shape. So you're going to kind of paint your... So you want to paint a fairly round shape. feel like I've painted this particular chibi before. I may have. He looks very familiar to me. Hey, welcome back, Blade Wolf. All right. I was listening to a lecture. Okay, cool. At least you're being productive in your multitasking. Okay, so there's that. So now we're gonna paint. Now we paint the black pupils in. Okay, and again, we're going for just dots. Smaller dot within the dot. Okay. Right, you can barely see that dot within the dot. It's fine. It's not the point here. Okay. All right. So now, right, that looks pretty good so far. So now, now the last part, which is we're gonna paint in the little shing shing on the eyes to really make it chibi, to really make it anime style. First thing I'm gonna do though is I gotta clean this border up here. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to paint the shing shing, which is the important part. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dot up in the corner of the eye, the upper, in this case it's going to be the upper left corner, this eye. And this dot is going to touch both the black dot and the brown dot, but stay within the brown dot. No, first. Ooh, hold on. I just messed up. Man, I cannot get this shape correct. Yeah, I can't get this shape correct. Hold on. Or more specifically, I can't get it to just settle down and give me a good shaped pupil. It's not bad. All right. Now let's do the shing shing. Shing shing. Okay. I'm just gonna put a dot right there. right there. And then we're going to do that same thing, same spot on the other eye. So upper left corner. It's very important to have it in the same spot for both eyes. And there you go. See, that was kind of, and that's really what gives the eyes that really definitive look. Now he's got like a really striking look to his face. Pretty dope, right? And now let's just paint the skin in. I'm telling you, once you get past that, it's not, the rest of this is not hard. But getting those eyes right is critical for Chibi. Oops, I totally borked up that black. It's fine. Time for you to crash? All right. Thanks, Dave, for tuning in. Have a good night, man. Good to see you again. Don't be a stranger. I'll try to be on YouTube a little more often. And feeling that, come visit me on Twitch. Have a good night, dude. So I'm going to cut with the skin. I want to cut all the way to the edge of the eyes. There you go. All right. Talk to you soon, man. Thanks. Chibi is very fun, as you can see. Right? Chibi is super fun to paint. I could have sworn I painted this before. Maybe I painted this for Chris before. Or somebody. I think somebody hired me to paint their Chibi Musashi. I wonder if Ninja Division has already published an SDE card for Musashi. In which case I can just break them out and play them like this. Otherwise, I'll have to either design my own card or wait for them to come up with it. And we all know waiting on Ninja Division is not a good idea. But that was my joke about Ninja Division. Hold on. I gotta do a little point here. Ah, man. It's not dark enough. No, it's not. No, it's okay. Not the end of the world. Yeah, this will be a fun miniature just to play Aristea with. You're so burned out. You're tired, dude. It's a bummer. That is a bummer, sir. Totally understandable, though. Busy time in your life, man. But you know what? And I know you already know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Trust me, when it's all over, when you're there on your wedding day with your wife, none of this crap is going to matter. You know, you did your planning, you did what you're going to do. Now, the goal of the day is to just have as absolutely as much fun as you possibly can. And you let shit slide. You know, my wedding day, my wife and I feel like we did it right. There was a lot of planning. There was some tense moments. There's going to be no matter what you do. And the day of our wedding, some really bad stuff happened. Right? The people that were supposed to set up the chairs didn't set up the chairs, and so uh, I get there to the place where we're getting married, and I see that the chairs aren't set up. So I just start setting up chairs, right? So I'm setting up chairs, and one of the ladies that was doing the floral arrangements sees me, and she starts bossing me around. She's like, "Oh, hey, you should be doing this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this." And she knew Elizabeth, but she didn't know me. In other words, she didn't know that I was the groom, and she was being like rude to me, just telling me what to do, telling me where to stand, where to be, like get out of the way. She's got to do, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, wait a minute, we paid you money to set up, to set up your flowers, and the arrangement was you were to do this way earlier than you're doing, and there wasn't, and to top it all off, nobody's there to set up chairs. So I'm setting up chairs right before the wedding. I'm getting yelled at before my own wedding, and then uh, and then we get then the wedding during the ceremony. We're waiting, we're waiting. The wedding is not going to start on time. My dad got lost. He got lost on the way to my wedding. He didn't know where to go. He had like I think my aunt with him, and he wasn't going to make it. Everybody else was there, and my mother-in-law's freaking out. Like she's freaking out. She's like, Octave, we need to start this wedding. We need to start this wedding, right? And and it got to the point where like there were some other people there on my side of the family that were pissed, and they were going to yell at my mother-in-law. And I was like, you know what, none of you guys can phase me. I'm going to have a good day. Went ahead and started the wedding. My dad ended up missing the entire wedding. So sad. He missed the entire thing. He showed up right as everybody was leaving, and we were getting ready to head over for our reception. So he missed the entire wedding, and I ran into him at the end. And, you know, there was a brief moment in the day where I was a little bit frustrated because I was like, maybe my brothers, maybe somebody could reach out to my dad and help this man find the wedding. My dad's he's an older guy, he's an older guy, and it's easy for him to get lost. And they didn't help out. And like I said, people weren't helping out, and my wife had to. She on her side, she had wardrobe malfunctions, and she had people helping her out, like a couple people helping her out there, but she's also had people not helping her out. And she had her stressed out mother not helping her out. Her best friend, luckily, stepped up, helped her out. During the ceremony, this is the best part. During the ceremony, we're in the middle of the wedding, and it's an outdoor wedding, and there's this person walking their dogs, these little Chihuahua dogs, this tiny little, I think a Pomeranian and a Chihuahua, like these little angry little dogs, and right in the middle of our ceremony, somebody else is walking dogs, and and leashes get crossed, and suddenly we have these like 3 or 4 dogs all barking and screaming at each other in the middle of our ceremony, like to the point where no one could hear what the preacher or whatever it was, the master of ceremonies was saying. And in by all other accounts, it should have been a freak out moment after everything else that was going wrong that day. But we loved it. We laughed so hard in the middle of our wedding. We started laughing hysterically. And it's stuff like that you remember about your wedding day. You remember the stuff that went wrong. You remember the moments that are really, really happy, but you also remember stuff like that, the stuff that went wrong, the stuff that you can look back and laugh at. Like, it's important. My name is Musashi. What's up, Nelson? You know what I mean? Those are the parts you remember, though. Those are the parts that make your wedding stand out. Are the parts that are fun, the parts where you laugh, the parts where things go wrong, and and you end up having to break. You have to break with plan, and you have to make shit happen. You have to make it work. And it's such a good thing. It really is. At the end of the day, it's such a good thing to kind of have that humility about your wedding day and what ultimately was important. There are people that want to kill themselves because they want the perfect wedding. And let me tell you right now, don't go for the perfect wedding, okay? The perfect wedding is shit. The perfect wedding is terrible. Don't go for the perfect wedding. Go for the fun wedding. Go for the wedding you're going to enjoy. Go for the wedding where people come to your wedding to party their shit down, right? Just to party their shit down. That is the only goal you should have. People should come to your wedding. They should party their shit down. You should have good food to eat. You should be dancing. You should be smiling. You should be laughing. You should be drunk. Not too drunk. Not like sloppy drunk, but fun drunk, happy drunk, right? That's what we went for. That's what my wife and I went for our wedding, and we don't regret it at all. And like I said, when the shit went down, when bad stuff happened, we had a good laugh about it, because you have to, and you're capable of when that happens. And what more can you ask for, really? But it's one of the best days of your life. It could be the best day of your life. For a lot of people, it is the best day of their life. For me, it was the best day of my life until until the day our sons were born. Then those become the single best days of your life, right? That was, for my wife and I, that's how it was. Our wedding day was the happiest day of our lives, and then when we had our kids, that became the happiest days of our lives. And it's fantastic, right? That's what you want. What you up to, Nelson? You doing any painting, dude? Nelson, are you gonna be around tomorrow night, man? Are you gonna be on TV? What's your plans, man? What you got going on? You want to play some Aristea with me tomorrow night? Maybe some Guild Ball? Huh? What? Nani? Look at him go. Lee was telling me to show up, but I don't get off work till 7. Aw, man. Well, show up anyway. Show up anyway and game with us. I don't know who's specifically showing up from our crew, but I'm sure Jason will be there playing something. I'll be there. Right? That should be enough. Jason's going to be there. I'm going to be there. It should be enough. You should go. Get a little base coat here. This sculpt is so clean. I did let her know I wanted to show up to your paint day. Nice, dude. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. You know, with them redoing the place, we might have to be cleaner during our paint day, which is fine. My name is Musashi. You should just leave him here with like half black hair like that. Yeah, I would love it if Guild Ball had like a samurai guild. Absolutely love that. If they had a guild that looked like this. Then somebody will freak out and say it was cultural appropriation. Might be blacksmiths. I haven't talked to Leah in a while. I need to hit her up. I haven't talked to her. Even though, you know, I know you keep us up to date with how she's doing. Actually, I don't necessarily need to talk to her. You could just say hi to her for me and bug her. Tell her I was watching that dude vape again yesterday and laughing my ass off. Because that shit is still funny to me. The best part was I watched him go vape and I started laughing my ass off, and so I left. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back. And I was watching Shabbykins play Journey, and I told Shabbykins, like, man, this is way more entertaining than watching one of those paint streams. And yeah, and then I went back. Then I went back and watched more vape, and sure enough, he was still there vaping. It was a mess. All right. let's finish the face first. So, because our man is an Asian man, we're going to use a different skin formula for him. So we're going to use golden skin here. He loves to vape. Yes. And we're going to... I don't want this to look too dry, so I'm going to mix glaze medium in with it, with this highlight color. A little bit of water. And if I was going to do a cosplay based on like miniatures, this is the one I would want to do. I would want to... I got a big ass forehead like this, and a widow's peak, and a goatee. I could cosplay as fat, out of shape Musashi. Be awesome. Ah. Isn't too hard. Yeah, it wouldn't be much of a jump for me. I just need the samurai outfit. And, you know, a little bit of techno armor to it. Couple samurai swords. All right. So what else is going on with you guys? I'm just trying to get through another week of work here. I feel like the hairline could be a little better defined here. There we go. Yeah, I do like this Musashi guy. Do I need a The main question is, do I need a third color on his face? You know, to give him a little more character? Not sure. I don't know. It's so clean. His face is so clean. The sculpt, the entire sculpt is just so clean. Such a crisp sculpt. Another cool thing about Chibi is once you're done with the head, it's like 50% of the model done. You don't need to do much else. All right. So let's see. This band there will be gold. I guess that strap will be black. This shoulder pauldron will be black. This cuff here will be black. You need to finish Ninja All Stars. Do you need to finish it? Actually, you do. It's a great set. So yeah, you do need to finish it. I just don't remember if I've painted this miniature before or not. It just seems so painfully familiar to me. Okay. A little shape there. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you on the weekend, Nelson. That'd be good. Get a little painting done. You know, maybe we can get a little bit of gaming when we're done there too. Why not? I think he needs more black. Maybe I can do. Let's do this. The scabbard's black. Oops. Ooh. Let's kind of leave that. It's just. Oh. Also, because it's Aristea, I need to get some purple down. First, let's get. Let's get black where we're supposed to get it. Okay. Okay, let me switch. Whoop. I'm going to switch to an older wet palette. Should still have the right colors on it, hopefully. Should. All right. Is that ink? Please say that's ink. That looks to be ink. Okay. So I appreciate the hex space is this purple color. And this takes a while to dry, so I like to hit it fairly early in the process. There we go. Okay. Next thing I need to do, I'm going to get some a white edge highlight on the swords. Sometimes you can just dry brush this in. But since I'm working on one miniature, doesn't necessarily hurt me to do. Right? Just get those edges down. Whoa. Okay. It's just important to get that edge in. Okay. Still playing, are you getting in, Nelson, are you able to get in some Legion while you can? Still getting that in? Last week they were playing Destiny, the Star Wars guys. So Jason and I think that was Michael there. Yeah, they were playing Destiny. You get a little edging on this armor here. All right. There you go. And then let's get a little highlight, a little bit of gray in the hair. Oh, now it's easy for me to not talk right now because I actually have music going on in my ear that you guys can't hear, but I imagine it's kind of boring and quiet on your side. That makes me a little sad. You know, one thing that's been bugging me lately is body odor. uh, Today I went to go I had to do a little bit of shopping, and this when the store, one of the clerks at the store where I went shopping, he's an older guy, probably 5 to 10 years older than me. And he was dressed and he had the store uniform on, whatnot, right? He looked professional. He looked like he had showered. But he had the worst BO. Like, he just stunk, man. Like I like to say, he was kicking like Van Damme. And I'm just getting so tired of this. Like, I'm getting so tired of like stinky dudes. Like the other night, a couple weeks ago, when we were at CQ, and one of those dudes just, I don't know, he must have set his shower on fire or something, because that guy was like, he was just kicking. It was awful. And I was like, oh, and I kept gagging. Like, I couldn't go into the game room. We were playing Guild Ball outside, and I was just happy about that. Like, this is one of the few Thursdays where I couldn't be happier playing Guild Ball outside in the street. One of these days we're gonna be playing out there, and one of those homeless guys, they're not the most sane people on the planet. They're gonna show up and like try to attack us, right? That could happen. We could be playing out there, and like one of the homeless guys could show up and like try to take a piece of us, right? But no, I'd rather face that. I would rather face fighting a homeless dude than smelling this other dude. It was rather horrifying. Oh man. Hold on. Go ball in the street while cooking some meat. Yeah, it was rather. So that was upsetting. And then, like I said, today, another BO dude. I'm like, dude, what do I need to do? What do we need to do to ensure that, clerks that work in stores don't smell like that? Is there something, am I missing something? Is there something I should be doing to help guarantee this, or what? It's the wrong color. I need to, wait, no, isn't that the right color? It's the wrong color. Yes, it's called the big stick. So we're just going to paint this guy. All right. So we're going to paint roll on your mitts and coin purse. I like that. I think too, my wife pointed out to me too, like, he could have been a vegan, right? Because vegans, they shower and stuff, but they still have that odor, right? Because I guess because all the garlic and onions and stuff that they eat, so they still have a very pungent smell to them, even though they're clean, and that kind of makes sense. Like, this guy, to me, he looks like he could have been a vegan. So I'm still not giving him a pass, though. I'm sorry. I still won't give you a pass if you stink and you're a vegan. If that's what it means to be vegan, man. Like eat some. I'm gonna give you some hamburger, dude, and we're just gonna give you some cheeseburger. Honestly, so many Thursday nights people have that issue. Another reason why I don't go. They're annoying and smelling. Is it the D&D group? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there is a D&D group on Thursday. It's definitely one of the board gamers. Well, I think it's by committee. I think there may be a couple of them, like Like they pick which week, which one of them is going to be smelly that week. And that person just goes for it. It's like, oh, it's my week off of showers. And they just take the week off of showers and they show up. And it's horrifying. They must combine to be Funk Man. And I'll form the head. Could be. Could be, could be. Do a little gold here. With our powers combined, I'm Captain Funk. That's funny. Man. Yeah, I missed there was a Guild Ball event up at the Realm and I ended up missing that. Well, you guys know that. I was bummed about that. But Nathan won that tournament. Our resident Hunters player won that tournament. Good for him. Good for him. Okay. Not bad. Oops. Stench by committee, dude. They pick one. Like whoever won the last week's Settlers of Catan. They play Settlers of Castank to see who should skip the week's worth of showering. That's how they decide it. Damn that Settlers of Catan. Now remember, you have to walk all day, wear 5 pairs of underwear, and not wash the coin purse. Oh gosh. That's rather horrifying. Okay. But yeah, it does get to the point where it's like it's not even people could say you're mean for making fun of somebody for smelling, but no, man, this isn't about making fun of somebody for smelling. This is about like enforcing hygiene. And if it means that we have to ridicule people to enforce hygiene, I'm going to ridicule people. or the other way to look at it, if it means, if you can't enforce hygiene, then at the very least, you're going to get to laugh about it. Right? That's my whole attitude on life is if I feel like somebody owes me something or I should have something and I'm not getting it, well, then at least I'm going to have a good laugh. That's just kind of how I treat it. If someone tells me I have to go back and change, whoops, all my Aristea bases because I can't use this color scheme anymore, that's going to freak me out a little bit. This dude is pretty damn fun to paint, though. Right? It's pretty damn fun. Telling you, man. I've been painting Aristea stuff for like 2 weeks straight, and it's that same kind of fun I've had whenever we break into the new games, and I really like the the miniature range. Then it's super good. I don't care if it's both black there, it's fine. Eh. He's looking pretty dope, I think. What do you think so far? Looking pretty good? I think he's looking pretty good. Let's do... Let's do a red wash on him. Kind of get a little bit of shadow in the red instead of using a red ink. Which is going to be... Red ink would be a little too bright for what I want to do here. So I'm going to use a red wash. Just a red wash to get down these areas, right? And that's nice. Just gives it a little added depth there. That's nice. Okay. And now, oops. Let's do a little bit of armor wash. Where'd my armor wash go? On the swords? All right. Okay. All right. There we go. Some nice swordy combat action-y looking poses there. And just removing that. There we go. All right. Almost done. Let's just do a little sepia. Where is my sepia? Really, really simple miniature. Like I said, once you get past the face and the eyes, Chibi is very easy to paint. It's basic painting, right? Pick a good color scheme, stick with the color scheme. Oh, I gotta paint. Yeah, I gotta paint that whole area there. That's fine. So all his little vents here on his neck, the back of his neck. Okay. I think that, well, I don't know. Let's highlight some of the gold edges. You know what I mean? Just to generate a little bit of interest around the details of the miniature. Right? Chibi is always fun to paint. So you can touch it up how you like it. Now, normally at this point in the miniature painting, this is where like most Twitch streams pick up. Like right here. And all they're doing is they're just doing, they're just kind of spotting a little paint here, a little bit there. And then they're mostly talking about how 40K the next 40K will be. Oh man, it's gonna be so 40K. You guys will see. And then they hit the vape. You'll see, man. It's gonna be so 40K, brother. It's gonna be so much 40K, brother. You'll see, brother. Why don't you hit me up with that? Showing mad love for the 40K. We're gonna 40K all over that 40K. And like that's literally the topic. That's literally the topic. I don't know how, like, there are guys that watch those streams every day. They'll tune in every day. Now granted, I could probably talk about Guild Ball once a day, right? For like 15 minutes or something. I could talk about Guild Ball. But then I got to move on, right? Life has got other things going on with it. I can't just live in I can't just live in the one world. I got other shit I need to talk about. You know, we got other games we got to talk about. We got painting we can talk about. We got, you know, I don't know what other movie franchise is being ruined next. We got that to talk about. But like all these streams are just like, here's a Space Marine, bro, and Space Marine all over that Space Marine, and then the next thing you know, Space Marine. I I can't do it. I cannot do that. I can't do it. Right, bro. You'll see so many skulls plastered all over the minis, even shrink wrapped, bro. It's epic. I love that. Like, shout out. Can we get shout out? Show this man some love. Can we get shout out? I just don't understand. I don't understand Twitch, if I'm being honest with you. I don't understand Twitch. And yes, I stream on Twitch. I just don't get all the like mini games and shit, and like, oh man, I got so much bruh bucks. Like they have their currency, like, are we gonna play bruh games with the bruh bucks? You gotta bruh that shit, bruh. It just, like, fucking paint. I don't understand. Like, why does it have to be about like 20 different things while you sit there and vape and then just watch like people post their shit on your feed so that, so that they can get the respect of other bruhs and they can listen to you, like, talk about how bruh they were. Bruh. You see the wedding, bruh? Sick. That's bruh. That's the bruh. I I just don't understand Twitch. I don't know. I think that's all there is to it. I can talk all the shit I want, but it's a fact. I just don't understand Twitch. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and fuck it. Let's go ahead and paint. Pretty excited to have a Chibi Musashi though. I will say that. Pretty stoked on this. This is pretty dope. Is it as good as a Soda Pop Mini Ninja Division Chibi? Well, it's better in that it's metal, but it's not aesthetically. It's not as good. I would say it's not as. When you're chibi like this, you got to double down on the anime. You got to double down on that anime look, and no one can do it like Ninja Division, which is just tragic. It's tragic because that's the only reason why, some people even bother with them anymore. It's because they know that when they do actually get their product, when they do actually do something, it is gonna look amazing. There's no question about that. All right. Let's let him dry for a minute. But yeah, he's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty cool, right? Put him on the board. You'd put him on the board. All right. Let's go through our Super Dungeon cards and see if we can actually, if there's a Super Dungeon piece that we could use as opposed to this guy. And then I think we're going to call it early. We started early, we're going to end early. I'm going to get some much needed sleep, and then we're going to play. Okay, so here's all the ninja. Let's see. No. Let's see. I mean, it could be this guy, the Sun Empire. Play painted. Wait. Oh, wait. I don't understand. You just talked about how he used to play. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring it back, dude. We're gonna try to play Fridays again. I guess I could use that as his card. Pretty cool. That's kind of the Musashi. That is the Musashi from that. Yeah, man, we gotta bring it back. It was so much fun. Not bad. 2 red strength, 3 armor, 2 will, 3 dex. Lance 6 with a charge behind me. Oh, nice. Yeah. I guess this is the card I would use for him. Cool. Well, that's good. All right, guys. So with that, we're gonna call this feed to a close. Yeah, Nelson, we'll talk about playing Fridays again because I totally want to play. Anyway, we're gonna draw this feed to a close. I want to thank everyone for watching. Here's Musashi. One last look here. I like him quite a bit. All right. Have a good night, guys.